So this is the first tutorial on how to do a walk cycle. As a reference, I'm going to be using the basic positioning from the Richard Williams book, The Animator Survival Kit. One of the things you have to do to transfer this over to 3D is you have to really look at all of the walk cycle positions from his book to really understand that the heel pivots out and things like that. So I'm going to kind of cover that in the video tutorial. So in this first one, we're just going to knock out videos 1 and 25. So actually you can see from frame 1 that I have 1 foot here and then another foot back here. So all I'm going to do is highlight all of my NURBS curves. And if they're all connected to this guy, I can just do select dash high. Let's make sure that's typing. Doesn't seem to want to type in this mailbox. So what we'll do is we'll turn everything off except for spline curves and highlight, and notice that we get all of our spline curves. Looks like there's some animation already on here. I'm going to delete mine. So what I'm going to be doing here is a 1 to 25 animation. So I'm going to go ahead and change this from 0 to 1, and I'm going to make sure that my last frame is 25. Alright, so on frame 1, I'm just going to go ahead and set a key by hitting S. There we go. So my keyboard was acting up. Another thing I want to do is so I don't have to continuously select everything. I want to actually create a button up top on my shelf. So let's go to Custom Shelf and open up our script editor and just go to Edit and go to Clear History. And then select all of those NURBS curves, and then click in there and hit Control A, and then with your middle wheel you're going to drag it up top here, and we want to do Mel. I'm going to close that out. So what that does is every time we want to set a key, we can just click that and it selects all of the curves. Alright, so on frame 1 we have the right leg forward and the left leg back. So I'm just going to select this, move it forward, and for now I want to keep these equal in distance, so no weird value. So I'll do -4 here for bringing it down, and I'll move this foot on Z to 25 just to see how that looks. It might be too short of a step, but we'll see that in a second. Now the power behind this is you actually want to go -25 on this leg because you want them to be the exact same distance apart. I'm actually going to go a little wider, so I'll do -26, and on this one we're going to do -26. Now, or I'm positive 26. Now this is the kind of walk that you would do for a video game. Alright, and what I want to do is, again, I'm going to look at my reference here. I'm going to curve that foot up, and then I'm going to put him on his toes here. So I'm going to use my foot roll, curve that up a little bit. You can see that causes a little bend in his knee, and I want him to be a little straighter than that. So let's go 28. How about 30? Okay, and then on this one let's do -30. And I'm going to do foot roll, but I want to do that exact same value, which is -2. And I'm going to do a +2 for foot roll here. And let's just really pull this back to kind of see. So maybe a -33 and a +33. Okay. The next thing I want to do is I want to extend my hip out a little bit. So notice how I'm selecting that curve on the inside. And we're going to go 20 on rotation here. But I'm not selecting this big box. Okay? Let's bring our arms down here. And I'm going to select this little plus, hit W, move it down just a little bit. Alright? I'm going to hit E, kind of extend that out. Same thing here, I'm going to rotate. Oops, I didn't select the circle. There we go. Now, it's the counterbalance, so this arm comes forward to offset the weighting. I'm going to put a slight bend in his elbow here. And I'm going to follow through with his wrist just a little bit. You know what, let's pull it down so it almost gets a pendulum point. So let's go back and double check all the values. I'm going to make this a -4. Make this a -19. I'm going to make this a -85. Alright. So same thing here. I'm going to make this rotation here a +4. And I'm going to make it a +19 and a +85. Oop, looks like it has to be a -85 as well, because that's the positioning on the inside. And this I'm going to fudge it a little bit. Alright. So I'm going to select that button I created earlier, and I'm going to set a key on 1 again. And I want to make sure auto key is on, which is this red key. And you know what, that's a little too much. That elbow's a little too straight, so let's bend that a little bit. And let's curve this hand out just a tad bit. Alright. Next thing I want to do is extend those shoulders out a little bit. So we only want this value here. So let's make that a -10. Alright, again I'm going to select all of this, set a key on 1. Now what I'm going to do is middle mouse click on 25 and hit S to set a key. So now we have a key, we have all the splines keyed on 1 and 25.